Hello, this is Mrs. Robertson, and today we're doing the back side of the paper we did yesterday. Yesterday we did this side. There's a video in Monday's section showing you how to do each and every problem with an explanation for every single step. So we're going to do the same thing on this side here. We're going to go over how to do each problem, explaining each step. If you are weak in your skills, you watch this video. Let's say you don't know how to do number 13. Watch it a couple times because we're going to do these papers again tomorrow and every day this week. We're going to work on improving our computation skills. All right. In number 13, what's the first thing we have to do? Yes. Not for dividing. In dividing, what do we do? Step 1, we have to change them to improper fractions. You multiply, add, and put it on top. 4 times 6 is 24, plus 3 is 27 over 4. Divided by 8 times 1 is 8, plus 1 is 9. 9 eighths. That was our step 1. Everyone thumbs up now. When you multiply or divide, change them to improper fractions. What's step 2 when you divide? Yes. Yeah. We have to change it to a multiplication. We're going to do the inverse of dividing is multiplying, and we're going to do the reciprocal of 9/8, which is 8/9. So 27/4 stays the same, times 8 over 9. Everyone know to do that? Thumbs up. Okay, now you can simplify before you multiply just because it makes it easier. You could take 27 times 8 and 4 times 9 and then simplify. But on this one, you check with your numerators and denominators to see if you can simplify. 4 and 8. Is there a number that will divide 4 and 8? Yeah. What is it, class? 2 or even 4. I'm going to go with 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 8 divided by 4 is 2. Now I look at 9 and 27. Is there a factor that will divide 9 and 27? 3 will, but there's a number even bigger than 3. 9. 9 divides 9 once. 9 divides 27 3 times. Now you just multiply straight across. 3 times 2 is 6. 1 times 1 is 1. And the final answer is 6. Any questions on that? Number 14 is very easy. It's all adding, so it doesn't matter which order we write the numbers down. I'm going to start with the number with the most digits, 3,095. These are all whole numbers, so the decimal is behind each number. Then I'm going to do 485 and 325. Add them together. That's 15. Carry a 1. That's 10. 8 plus 2. That gives me a total of 20. Put down a 0. Carry a 2. 2 plus 4 is 6. Plus 3 is 9. Did you get 3,905, kids? Okay, don't forget to write your answers on the blanks. Number 15, we are dividing with a decimal. And when you divide with a decimal and there's 1 in the divisor, you have to move it out. You can't divide with a decimal point in the divisor. We have to move it 2 places to the right. That's the same thing as multiplying a number by 100. So since we moved this one 2 places, this one has to be moved 2 places, and put it straight up in the problem. How many 81s are in a 2? None. In a 24? None. In a 248? I think it's 3. So over here, I'm going to do 81 times 3. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 8 is 24. Yep, that'll fit under there. The 3 goes over the 8, and 2, 4, 3 goes right there. 8 minus 3 is 5. Bring down the 6. Will 81 go into 56? No. So you put a 0, subtract, bring down the 7. How many 81s are in that? 7. Let's see. 81 times 7 comes out perfect. So the answer is 3 7/7. Any questions on that? Do you see how to move your decimal point? Does that make sense? Good. Don't forget to write your answer on the answer blank. Now in number 6, it says round to the hundredths place. When you have a problem like this, the top number goes in the division box. The denominator or the bottom number goes outside. How many 42s are in? A 1, none, and a 12, none, and 123. Well, is it 3? 42, I'll do this over here. 42 times 3, 126. It's too big, so it has to be 2. 42 times 2 is 84. I put a 2 above the 3 and 84 under it. Subtract. That will give me a 9. 11 minus 8 is 3. Bring down the 0. How many 42s are in 390? I think it's 9. 42 times 9, 18, carry a 1. 36 plus 1 is 37. 378, and I put a 9 above the 0. Subtract. Oh, this is going to be a long one if we have to go to the hundredths place. Okay, so 10 minus 8 is 2. 8 minus 7 is 1. Bring down a number. 42 will go into 121 2 times because we already have done 123. 84. Subtract. Now I'm going to add a decimal point and a 0. Oh, I forgot to subtract. I'm going to change my ink colors here. 11 minus 4 is 7, and 11 minus 8 is 3. So then I add a 0, I bring it down. How many 42s are in a 370? Well, it's going to be less than 9 because that's 378. So 42 times 8, 336. So I put the decimal point and an 8. So 336, when I subtract, 10 minus 6 is 4, 6 minus 3 is 3. 34, add another 0, bring it down. It will go into 340 8 times. That's 336. Subtract, add a 0. It'll go into 0 times. So the answer is going to be 292 and 88 hundredths. How many of you got that answer? Very nice. 292 and 88 hundredths. Because the 0 didn't turn the 8 into anything. Yeah. No, because the directions say round to the hundredths place. If it didn't say that, that might be different, but you don't round unless it says to, okay? Up to the whole number. Okay, number 17. This is a 6th grade standard. And the first thing you have to do when you multiply fractions is what? Who remembers? Yes. Right, you multiply, add, and put it on top. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12. 12 fifths times 4 times 6 is 24, plus 1 is 25 fourths. Oh, does anyone see a shortcut before we multiply? Aiden? 4 and 12. 4 divides 4 once. 4 divides 12 3 times. What's the other shortcut in here? Yes. Right, 5 divides 5 once. 5 divides 25 5 times. Now this is an easy problem. 3 times 5 is 15. 1 times 1 is 1. The answer, 15. Everyone can do that now, can't you? Good. Number 18, we're subtracting with decimals. First thing you do is line up your decimal points. We are subtracting. Now, 47.4, 1.24. Now, we are subtracting. What do I have to put above the 4? Yes, a 0. Now we borrow. Borrow from the 4, it turns into a 3, that turns into a 10. 10 minus 4 is 6. 3 minus 2 is 1. 7 minus 1 is 6. And the answer, 46 16/100ths. Are there any questions? Another division problem in number 19. Here it says round to the hundredths place. All right, so 128 is being divided by 29. In my thinking cloud, it's really close to a 30. So how many 29s or how many 30s are in a 1, none, and a 12, none, and 128? I'm going to say it is about what? 4? So let's take 29 times 4. I've got a spot over here. I'm going to do 29 times 4. 4 times 9 is 36. 8, 9, 10, 116. Yep, that will fit. 116. Don't forget to put the 4 on top. Now subtract. 8 minus 6 is 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. All right, add a decimal point and a 0. Bring it down. How many 29s are in 120? Well, it's pretty easy. It's going to be what, class? 4 again. That's 116. Subtract. 10 minus 6 is 4. That's a 1. Add a 0. Bring it down. How many 29s are in a 40? 1. 2 would be too big. Subtract. 10 minus 9 is 1. 3 minus, you get an 11. Add another 0. Bring it down. How many times will 29 go into 110? Well, 4 is 116, so it's going to be 3. And 7, carry a 2, 6, 87, and I can stop. All right, I have this. What am I going to write down on my answer? Will the 3 turn the 1 into a 2? No, the answer is going to be 4 and 41/100ths. Any questions? Do you think this is too hard for a 6th grader? No, you can do this. Can you do this if you don't practice? No, you've got to practice it. Now in number 20, 902 minus 711. 2 minus 1 is 1. Borrow from the 9. 10 minus 1 is 9. 8 minus 7 is 1. Did you get 191? Good. Now, when you add and subtract fractions, what do you have to have? Someone said it earlier. Common denominator. Yes. So we're going to have to rename these fractions, and it's called finding your least common multiple. All right, LCM. So my technique is this. I write down which digit's larger, 4 or 3? 4. Will 3 divide 4? No. 4 times 2 is 8. Will 3 divide 8? No. 4 times 3 is 12. We know 3 divides 12, right? So that's going to be our common denominator. That's your least common multiple, 12. 3 times what is 12? 3 times 4 is 12. So you multiply 1 times 4 and you get 4. 4 times what is 12? 3. 1 times 3 is 3. Now don't forget your whole numbers, 10 and 3. Now 4 twelfths plus 3 twelfths is 7 twelfths, and 10 plus 3 is 13. 13 and 7 twelfths. Is everyone okay with that? Good. Now let's go to number 22. 0.32 times 0.96. In other words, that's 32 hundredths times 96 hundredths. Now you start with the number here, multiply by the 6. 6 times 2 is 12. Put down a 2, carry a 1. 6 times 3 is 18. Plus 1 is 19. Now kids, when you multiply decimals, do you have to worry about the decimal while you're multiplying? No, only at the very end. Now I'm going to multiply by the 9. What do I have to do before I multiply by the 9? Add a 0. There's one number behind the 9. I call them place value zeros, and I put X's in them so I know I used that place. Now I multiply by the 9. 9 times 2 is 18. Put down an 8, carry a 1. 9 times 3 is 27, plus 1 is 28. Add your digits together. 17, carry a 1. Oh, that's a 10. Carry a 1. Now, this is where you have to put your decimal point in. How many numbers live behind the decimal point in the problem? Carrington? How many numbers are behind the decimal point in this problem? That's right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I put my decimal point right there. So the answer is 3,072 10,000ths. Number 23 is I call it help problems. 22 has to subtract 12 and 3/7, but I don't have a fraction. So 22 has to change its name. Another name for 22 is 21 and 7/7. Now 7/7 is 1, right? And 1 plus 21 gives us back the 22. So it's the same amount. It's just a different name. Now we can subtract. 7/7 minus 3/7 is 4/7. And 21 minus 12, well, you can borrow from the 2. It turns into a 1. 11 minus 2 is 9. Did you get 9 and 4/7? Good answer. Okay, number 24. What do I have to do first in this problem? Aiden? Right, move it 1. Oh, there's not one here, so you make it appear, and you move it 1. Now, what do I put in my empty loopy here? A 0. The decimal point is now right there. Okay. How many 325s are in a 2? None. In a 20? None. In a 208? None. In a 2080? Well, how many 3s are in a 20? Let's try 6. 7 will be too big. So I'm going to do it over here. 325 times 6. 0, carry a 3. 12 plus 3 is 15, carry a 1. 18 plus 1 is 19. Yep, that'll fit. 1950. Now, 0 minus 0 is 0. 8 minus 5 is 3. Borrow from the 2. 10 minus 1 is 130. Now, in this one, I guess we just, oh, I forgot to put my number 6 up there. Add a 0, bring it down. Well, it will go into that maybe 4 times. Let's try it. 325 times 4. 325 times 4 is 0, carry a 2. 8 plus 2 is 10, put down a 0, carry a 1. 12 plus 1, oh, it's perfect. So the answer is 6 4/10. All right, kids. Any questions? Everyone, do you all believe in your heart that you should all be able to do these things before you go to the junior high? Don't you think that's reasonable? If you need help, you talk to Mrs. Robertson. I'll see what I can do to try to help you on this. Can you do better, get better if you don't practice it? No. You cannot avoid it because it will not get better. It's not something that just happens. Okay? Now, nice job. We're going to go look at our lesson next.